Hello future developers, welcome to another tutorial ABCD. So today we'll be doing that, creating a PDF reader. Okay, so to do that, I'm going to my Python document, which is Jupyter Notebook. Okay, so as usual, I'm just going to read through and then you get the understanding from me reading. Okay, so this is creating a PDF reader, and then we'll be using packages. That's the Py text-to-speech X3 and then Py PDF2. Okay, so as usual, you would have to go to Piper, and then when you type in the package, so PyTTXS3. Okay, so this, and it gives you the method how to use it. Okay, and then if you want the PDF2, as usual, you just Py PDF2, which is this one. Okay, so this is the method. This is what the Py PDF2 can help us achieve. Okay, so for merging documents page by page, copy images and the likes, so you can copy it and then you use it in your code. So let me explain it. Okay, now so first, in our first Jupyter Notebook cell, you would have to install the two libraries. So I installed PyTTX3, okay, PyTTXX3, and then pip install PyPDF2. Okay, so the Py text-to-speech is going to convert the document, okay, into that's spoken word, so text-to-speech. So the PDF is going to help us read the binary version of the document. Okay, and also to perform other methods like getting the page numbers and the likes. Okay, so once this is installed, what you can do is to import it. So first I imported the PyTTX3 library, and then I imported the PyPDF library, and then I created a variable called bookly, so I can give it any name. Let's say book. Okay, equals, and then open into brackets, and then remember I put R here, and then there's the location of my PDF file. Okay, so there's the location of my PDF file on my computer, so the directory for my PDF file, and then you put a quotes. Okay, so you put the directory inside the quotes. Okay, so opening quotes and then closing quotes. I don't know if you have a term like that. And then inside it's okay, you put your directory here, and then comma, and then RB. RB is going to read the document or the PDF in binary file, okay, or formats. Okay, and then from there I created another variable called PDF reader, and then I equated it or assigned it this. So Py PDF2. So Py, remember, is caps Py. Okay, the P is caps, the Y is small, and then PDF. Okay, a caps dot PDF file reader. Okay, so since I changed here from booklet to book, I have to also change here. So we want this Py PDF reader to read our book. Okay, our book. So whichever variable name you give here, remember to also use that same variable name here. And here I want to get the number of pages, so let me comment this out, or let me just cut this out. Ctrl X. Okay, and pages equals PDF reader dot num pages. So I created a variable called pages, and then PDF reader dot num pages. So the num page method is going to help us get the number of pages. That's when we print it out. Okay, so print into bracket pages. My variable here is the pages, which is going to hold the number of pages. Okay, so if I print it out, provided this is still in the same directory, I should get the page number or the total number of pages in the PDF. Okay, so 55. So you see I got 55. Okay, so the length of my PDF file is it has 55 pages. Okay, so let me bring this back. Okay. Now here is the time for us to use the convert our PDF to from text to speech. Okay, so in the documentation, okay, so that's PyTTXX3. pi. It's not this one. Okay, so for the documentation, after installing, you have to use the engine. Okay, so how to initialize the engine. So that's what we just did here. Okay, so we created a variable called engine, and then we are initializing the library. Okay, to initialize the text-to-speech library. Okay, then created a variable called voices. So you can give any name here. So here I want to get the property that's the voice. So we have the male and then female voices. So we want to get the property of the voices. Okay, so voices equals engine.get property. Then in the parentheses, and then quotation comments, you put the voices, and then engine dots. Okay, our engine here. Okay, so engine dot set property. So here we have ID. So 1 should be that of a female voice, and then 0 should be that of a male voice. Okay. So in this engine does set property into bracket the voice, comma. Okay, so these two parameters. So the first holds the voice, and the second holds the kind of voice, whether a female voice, or the type of voice, whether a female voice or the male voice. So here in my square brackets, the ID is 1. Okay, so 1 is that of a female, and then 0 is that of a male. Okay. Now for num in range, okay, so we want to start our reading from, so here this line of code is going to start our reading from the page number 5, not 6. Okay, so this is the index position of 6. So index position, remember Python counts from 0, okay, starts counting from 0. So if you want to read page number 5, you'd want to index it as 6. Okay, so 6, and then the next parameter, so comma, and then pages. Okay, and then page, so page, create a variable called page, or any name, equals, and then pdf reader dot get page num. So it's going to start from the page number. So this is going to get the page number that you described here, or you coded here to start the reading. Okay, and then we text. So here is going to extract it. So page.extract text. So if you read the documentation in the PyPark for the PDF, there was a portion that says this, the PyPDF2 helps you to be able to extract text. Okay, so this is the extract text method to be able to extract the text from the PDF, and then we want it to start speaking. So just say engine.say into brackets text. So whatever was passed to this, okay, is stored in the text, and then we want to the engine to say whatever was said or is extracted from the text. Okay, so the information from the text. So it's going to say it. So engine.say into bracket text. Okay, and then engine run and wait. So it's going to start the speaking, and then it will wait. So run and wait is just going to continue. So let's just see the documentation here. Run and wait. Let's run and wait to see the documentation here. So ID 1 here means female, and ID 0 here means male. Okay. So getting details of current voice. Okay, that's the engine get property. The run and wait isn't here, but why it does is it's going to run the program. Okay, and then probably wait for any action, but it's going to run so it's done reading, but it will continue to run. So you'd have to terminate it at some point in the in your documents. I think you can use break. I think once I use break, and then it worked for me. So this should be it for our PDF reader, and then you have to practice to get perfect. Remember, PyPy is a good source of getting your libraries and then documentation there to help you come up with interesting projects. Okay, so thank you, and then see you in the next lesson.